Back guys to my NFL Week 3 picks. Last week I was 8-6. I got 8 of the predictions right. I only got like 6 games wrong, so I think I did a pretty good week last week. On to week 3, we had last night's game, the Browns versus the Steelers. The Browns were favored at 4.5, and then Steelers were favored at plus 4.5. The Browns got the win. Going on to the early Sunday game. We had the Dolphins versus the Bills. I'm really intrigued and excited over this Mike McDaniel's team. Chew had a good game last week. Had 6 touchdowns last week. The Bills looking stronger than ever. Destroyed the Titans on Monday night. So for this one, I'm having the Bills going over -5. You have the Jets versus the Bengals. I'm going for Bengals. I'm going to go for the Bengals again. I know the last couple of weeks. The last 2 weeks, the Bengals have let me down and they've done me dirty a lot of times. But this time, I'm going for the Bengals. They're against the Jets, -6.5. So I'm going to go for the Bengals for the win. Then we have Lovie Smith returning back to Soldier Field to play some Bears football. He's back in Chicago. He did get Chicago back. He did get Chicago in the Super Bowl when he was the coach of the Bears many years ago. He comes back. Again, the Bears last week, they got destroyed by Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers made them their daddy, and it was Bears football in prime time. Luckily, this is an early Sunday game, so they're not going to be on prime time this week. I'm going to say that it's going to be again. The Texans gave the Broncos a tough game last week, but I'm going to say the Bears will win -2.5. The Ravens versus the Patriots. The Patriots got a win last week. The Ravens, they lost to Mike McDaniel in that great comeback from the Dolphins. But I think they're going to bounce back this week with the Ravens. The Ravens are going to bounce back this week with a win, and I'm going to go for Ravens -2.5. Colts versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to go over -5.5. The Colts were mid last week. Matt Ryan, retire! Matt Ryan, this is a PSA. Retire! You're past your best, buddy. Retire! Retire! I said even in the offseason, he should have retired. Matt Ryan is not the quarterback. But, yeah. I've gone for the Chiefs -5.5. Then we have the Vikings versus the Lions. I've been impressed with the Lions the opening 2 weeks of the season. They had a competitive, I know they lost in defeat, but they had a good competitive home game against the Eagles. Deals against the Commanders last week and destroyed the Commanders last week. But this is a Vikings team under Kevin O'Connell. I'm interested to see what they do this season. But both teams need a quarterback. You've got Kirk Cousins and you've got Jared Goff at quarterback position. I'm going to go for the Lions +6. Then we have the Titans versus the Raiders. Raiders -2. Again, Titans, start Malik Willis. He cannot be any worse than Ryan Tannehill. See what you have with Malik Willis as quarterback. You could win 6 or 7 games this year. But at least at the end of the season, you'll know that if Malik Willis is the dude or not. If he's not the dude, then 2023. But start Malik Willis. He's got to be better than what Ryan Tannehill is doing, because when you've been starting the past 2 weeks, he's been mid. Then we had the Panthers versus the Saints. I'm going to go for Panthers win +2.5. The Commanders versus the Eagles. Eagles were impressive on Monday night, beating the Vikings. Jalen Hurts had a good game. He had 333 passing yards and a couple of touchdowns on Monday, so an impressive game for him. I'm going to go for the Eagles -6.5. Then the late Sunday games, we have the Chargers versus the Jags. Doug Pearson's doing a pretty good job in Jacksonville. He's only lost 1 game. He got an impressive win last week. Chargers, they lost last Thursday on primetime to the Chiefs, but I'm going to go for the Chargers win -3. Seahawks versus the Falcons. Falcons still look for the first win of the season. Seattle, again. Geno Smith's the starting quarterback. I'm going to go for a Seattle win -1.5. Then we have the Bucks versus the the Packers, it's going to be Brady versus Rodgers. I'm gonna go for a Bucks -1, but I think Mike Evans is suspended after that brawl he had last week. But I'm gonna still say the Bucks are have enough to get the win. And then we had the Rams versus the Cardinals. The Cardinals again, they were dead and buried last week, and then they came back to beat the Raiders last week. But I think again the Rams are gonna be too much for the Cardinals, and they're gonna win -3.5. 49ers versus the Broncos. Again, this is going to be a Jimmy G starting quarterback because Trey Lance got injured last week. I'm going to go for 49ers win -1.5. And then the Monday night game, we have the Jets versus the Cowboys. I'm going to go for the Cowboys +1. Cowboys +1 win. And that is my picks for week 3 of the NFL. Leave your picks in the comments, guys, and I'll check you later.